How's it going, guys? Sage here with the Run 'em Down. And in today's video, we're going to be going over my brand new hog hunting build right here behind me, nice and pretty. And we're going to be comparing and contrasting it to some more common calibers that you kind of see people using while hunting pigs, and how this build kind of matches up to builds that I've done in the past. Let's get right into it. So let's go ahead and get into the specs of this build. So first off, we're going to start with this upper. So I got the upper from PSA. It is on their website for around $400. Um, it is an 18-inch configuration, 416R steel barrel. It does already come with an adjustable gas block in the upper. So for you guys that are running cans, running suppressors on your guns, which most people I know that are hunting pigs normally are running suppressors, having a 12 position adjustable gas block already on the upper is a plus. So that kind of helps you out there, and PSA did a really good job with that. Going into the lower, I did just go ahead and get a cheap Anderson lower. I believe that a forged lower is a forged lower. Of course, I could have gone, Air Precision, which I have on a couple other builds, but I decided to make this as budget friendly as I could. And I decided that, just getting a cheap Anderson lower was going to work out for me. Of course, if you guys decide to go more expensive, then by all means. I did go ahead and throw in a mil-spec two-stage trigger into it that I just had laying around. I'll probably end up upgrading that either to a Geisley or a drop-in. Not really sure which path I want to go yet. Haven't used this trigger enough to really say that, it's trash. It's not. I don't know. Um, I did go ahead and throw in a Radian 45 degree just because I have that in some other builds, and I like it. It seems I can get off safety a lot faster, you know, and that's just something that I prefer. The can that I'm actually using is going to be the Surefire SOCOM 300 SPS. It's a can that I have on a 300 blackout build that I just went ahead and threw on here. It comes, well, it doesn't come with, but I bought the War Comp muzzle brake for this gun, so I can swap it from this gun onto my 300 blackout. Super simple, super easy. I did decide to go ahead and throw a wrap on this just because I am running a thermal. If we're shooting a lot, I don't want to get that little heat wave, which some of you guys know. If you're shooting a can with thermal and you're shooting a lot, you can kind of get a little orange sun at the bottom of your thermal if that can's really hot. So I decided to go ahead, throw a wrap on here, and that way it kind of helps me mitigate that sun. Now, the thermal that I'm running on top, this is the Pulsar XG35, the Talon. I decided to go ahead and get the 640 resolution. My buddy runs the XQ38 Pro, which is the 384. Now, don't get me wrong, that is an amazing, amazing thermal. He loves it. But I found that running a 640, once you run a 640, it's kind of hard to go down to a 384 or 256. So, of course, I went ahead and got the 640 Talon, and it's amazing thermal. It does me really well. Again, just for kind of, I guess, time's sake, I am running just a Bog Pod Infinite. I went ahead and got an Arca plate for this gun. I'm also running Arca plates on other guns. That way, it's easy to just swap them in and out. I can run them on all of my, I can run all my guns on the Bog Pod, super, super easy. And that makes me enjoy this a lot. So the rounds that I'm going to be using for this build are going to be the Black Hornady 123 grain match grade. People that I've talked to that are familiar with this round and familiar with hunting with it, they said that is honestly probably one of the better rounds, if not the best, to use for 6.5 Grendel. You guys can kind of see a little side by side of a 6.5 Grendel 123 grain that I'm going to be using compared to a 150 grain 300 blackout that I've used in past videos and for most of my hog hunting. One of the harder things also with 6.5 Grendel, and especially if you guys are looking to get into building 6.5 Grendel, is the mags are pretty hard to find. Honestly, I think I found some at a local gun store for like $40 a piece for like 20 rounds. So that's a little bit different. Obviously, probably need to go online, probably what I should have done is go online and order a bunch of mags. But you know, that's something that I have to do now. So just kind of keep that in mind if you're looking to get into building a 6.5 Grendel. So when you go to compare 6.5 Grendel to say your standard 308 round, there's a couple positive things that the 6.5 Grendel kind of has over the 308 round. So first things first, obviously weight is a huge thing that we deal with when hog hunting, especially here in North Texas. You know, we're hunting these large ranches. It's a lot of land that we have to walk. So, you know, we're having to run these guns on these tripods over our shoulder. So being able to have a light gun is really important to us. So that 6.5 Grendel round, you're able to run them in standard AR mags. Therefore, you're able to run them in standard AR lowers. So that's kind of cutting that weight part of it compared to like an AR-10 mag. And just to kind of show you guys these mags, so this is a 6.5 Grendel mag. It is a standard AR mag. The only difference is that you do have to get these in 6.5 Grendel just because they are flared out on the bottom here, kind of like your 7.62 by 39 mags. Another thing, I'm going to put up a little chart here just so you guys can kind of see. Some people have compared 6.5 Grendel to 308. Obviously, you can kind of tell that both rounds are great for distance. 6.5 Grendel is a little bit more of a flatter shooting round. And then, you know, 308 does have a little bit more knockdown power. So you kind of give and take with whatever round you're going to do. Each one is kind of different compared to what you want to do. With us hunting larger ranches, we need a round that goes a little bit farther, especially some long distance shots for coyotes and certain things like that. Comparing it to a 300 blackout round, obviously the 6.5 Grendel is going to blow that one out of the water. If you guys have seen some of my past videos, I use 300 blackout a lot on some of my hunts. Great round. It just really lacks on distance. Has great knockdown power. Just again, you know, your effective range is probably, I would say at most, maybe 150, 200 yards, depending. Sometimes you can get a little bit more than that, but honestly, you know, whenever you're wanting to take shots out of 250 yards, which a lot of times, especially hunting coyotes, most of your shots are going to be outside of 250 yards. That's where that 6.5 Grendel kind of comes on top. That's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you guys have any questions, any comments, any regards into this video, and you know, any ideas for future videos, please leave a comment down below. Again, remember to like and subscribe. That really helps me out, lets me know that you guys are enjoying the content. I do have a hog hunt coming up this weekend, so hopefully I should be able to get you guys some really good footage and hopefully be able to shoot some pigs at the same time. Until the next one, guys, thank you guys for tuning in.